Hi, episode 002. If you were here last week, thank you for joining me again this week. If you want to make money in real estate, there is no better way to get started. The purpose of this weekly live show is to answer your questions about getting started in flipping land and then move on to bigger transactions or other types of real estate. That's what we're doing. I'm Jill DeWitt, co-founder of Land Academy, and together with my partner, Stephen Jack Vitala, we have completed close to 16,000 real estate transactions of many property types. We all know that there's money to be made in real estate, and most people are doing it wrong. I am here every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific time to help you connect the dots. Today I'm going to talk about why land is so easy and everyone is doing it wrong. Then in about 15 minutes, I'm going to answer all your questions. A while back, I had a call with an individual who shared with me his experience about getting into real estate investing. He shared this wonderful story about finding us while he was doing his research, and he dismissed the whole concept because, as he said, flipping land is not sexy. Well, after a year had passed and he had completed a handful of time-consuming, problem-filled, budget-busted house flips, revisited his concept of rural vacant land, and then he called to tell me that he couldn't be happier. We laughed about the whole thing. It was a great joke because we said, we all know flipping land might not sound sexy, but a big bank balance and easy transactions sure is. So why is flipping land so much easier than flipping houses? Well, first, land does not have a large upfront cost. Think about it. You want to get started in real estate, you want to do it right, you want to pay cash for transactions. Well, with land, you can put down, a couple $1,000s versus a few $100,000 that you would have to, buying another asset type like a SFR. Also, if, like many people, they're borrowing money to complete these transactions, we all know that everyone involved, bank, other investors, they all want to protect their investments, and they often have a lot to say. Second reason this is so much easier, land does not have potential unplanned expenses, such as a leaky roof, electrical issues, or surprise notices about permits, not being done. It's really easy. I went looking a little while ago. I was just kind of see what I would find, and it's not hard to find horror stories all over the internet of people trying to do an HGTV-type project and it all goes sideways and they've lost so much money and then they give up, is what sadly happens. So we don't have those issues. And then the third thing, land does not have, especially when you're selling, land does not have this high level of, let's just call it buyer hand-holding. I don't need there to show the property. I don't need to be on site with inspections or, anything like that throughout the wholesale process. So I can easily do this from anywhere in the country. Now, why is everybody doing it wrong, or how is everybody doing it wrong? This is my favorite thing to talk about, I have to share. Everyone is conditioned to wake up and go searching for deals. So let me explain this to you. Imagine, this is scenario one. You wake up in the morning, you get in your car, you're driving around looking for property, you find a handful that you're interested in. Let's say you don't have good ownership information at your fingertips, so you're calling the county, trying to get the owner's name and address, whatever you can from the county. Next, you're back at your office, you're skip tracing, that's a popular thing now, and trying to get their phone number. And then you're picking up the phone and you're making cold calls to people because you want to buy their property, buy their asset. So how many do you think you could actually reach in one day? I mean, not that many. And then let's just say you get lucky and talk to a few that day. How many do you think you're going to get lucky with and they actually want to sell? Have you tried to talk someone to selling when they are happy? They've been there for a few years. They want to retire there. That's good luck. It's been a wasted day. So here's my scenario number 2. So that was the wrong way. So now here's scenario 2, and let me paint this picture for you. Imagine that you spend a few hours on a Sunday afternoon. You're researching an area to buy property. You pick out what your criteria is. You go onto your computer, you download a current, awesome, maybe it's even a direct feed list like we have with RealQuest Pro, of all the ownership information right there on your computer. Next thing you do, you scrub down your list, you add in your offer prices, then you email your completed spreadsheet along with your mailer templates all ready to go to somebody else to do a mail merge and get these offers in the mail to you. I mean, that's all you do. Someone else is doing all the work. They're getting the stamps on it, theoretically with a professional company, and in the mail for you. So that was your Sunday afternoon. Now fast forward a few days, and all you're doing is fielding all the return phone calls and signed offer letters from the people who got your offer in the mail, like your price, now want to do the deal. And once you start this process going, that's it. It just keeps going and going, and you never have to search for a deal again. The other thing is one I forgot to mention in the first scenario is some people have access to the MLS. We actually all have access to the MLS now. We don't even realize it, but with a realtor and things like that, we all have the MLS. But even though you think that's maybe a little bit of a better way to do it, it's not, because those deals that are in the MLS, if you're waking up and you're searching the MLS, guess what? Somebody else got there first. You didn't get there first. By doing direct mail and getting good offers out and those people calling you back, you got there first, and you are the one that's working directly with the seller and making a transaction happen. That is why this is so easy and so profitable, and I could do it from anywhere. So now I'm going to open this up and take some time and answer your questions. So if you would, go ahead, type your questions in, and I will answer them here. Hi, I can't see the name. Is it Andrew? And Andrew, nice to see you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. All right, Jake wrote, hi, Jake. So if a new person joins the membership, including the membership cost in the first few months, got it. How much money would a person need in order to get the first offer? Membership, monthly fee, data download, mail merge. You've been doing your homework on this, Jake, and I really appreciate it. All right, and any other costs I'm going to be listing. Want to know what I need to get my budget to get started on the first offer. All right, awesome, excellent question. Okay, so you need a budget for the program to get the, and basically everything, we teach everything how to run our business in the Land Academy Cash Flow from Land program. And version 2.0 is coming out soon, which is going to add on info lots. So don't worry, but budget, you know how much that is. You can look that up. It's online. There's a coupon for you right now, too, to get $600 off. That's coming. The monthly fee is $250 a month, and that is the reduced cost for you. So instead of just paying $250 a month for RealQuest Pro, you're getting RealQuest Pro, you're getting Title Pro, you're getting Deed Perfect, you're getting our deal board, you're getting postings on LandPin, you're getting our free weekly member calls. That's a closed environment with Stephen and I. So if you go to sounds like you've already looked at it, go to the membership page, you'll see a long list of all the things, a discount to Pat Live, help you answer the phone. So you've got a couple thousand to get started, the $250 a month. Now to download data, when you're ready to pull those records, like I talked about, it's 10 cents a record. and you want to download at least about 2,000 records, so budget $200, and plus mail, which is right around, I think it's 55 cents right now for the member pricing. So hopefully that helps you kind of think about it. And the only last thing I want you to think about, this is, what's his name again? This is Jake. I want you to think about is acquisition funds. One of the things that we have done, Stephen and I have done, and Land Academy as a whole, is, with a group, are able to get all the costs of all the tools and everything that we need cheaper and better and faster as a group. So you can focus on acquisition funds. And I just want you to think about having a couple $1,000s or whatever you have. I've had people start with $5,000, $10,000, and I've had people start with $100,000. The difference is what the properties are that you're going to buy. So that's what I want you to think about. But excellent question. Thank you. Oh, and I see Stephen Butala, thank you, is answering some questions for you in there too. So thank you, Stephen. Who do we have now? Teddy asks, I was dealing with house flips for years and lost so much money. I'm only 2 deals in with land and already doing better. Thank you. We hear that a lot. Like the story I mentioned earlier about the person that it was so true. We laughed about it. He's like, oh, this land flipping, it's silly. That's not sexy. I'm not going to talk about that. Who cares? I'm going to do houses like everybody else. And then he got into it and said, oh, what was I thinking? This is so much easier. I love it. I'm getting another question here. Great questions. All right, Andil, I think it's Andil asks, I read your 30-page ebook. This is great. Did a post on Craigslist, as your sample says, wonderful. 2 days later, I had a person interested to sell his land in Santa Clarita. Now I don't know what to do. All right, that's perfect. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. That whole point of the ebook is just to get you to throw something out there for free, like you did on Craigslist, basically posting an ad saying, I want to buy property, in whatever area, and see that people will call you back and they are interested. So now I can help you. That's the next step. I mean, now it's really, you could, well, a couple ways. You could jump into our free online community and talk to our members, and we can get you there's a lot of free information there to help you, get the sale done and get the purchase done and doing deeds. You need to get a deed, you need to agree on a price, make sure it's the right price. You need to get a deed done, get it recorded, post it for sale. There's a lot of steps. It's not that hard, and we're here to help you. I mean, that's what Land Academy is all about. So you know what? You did everything great. You tested it. You're ready. So I would say get in our group. That's the next step. How long, Cindy asks, how long do your offers say the escrow period is? Excellent. And this is perfect, Cindy, because this is leading into what my show is about next week. So I'm going to answer, first I'm going to tell you what my show is about next week, and then I'm going to answer your questions. So next week, I'm going to really get into the computer. I'm going to show you an offer letter. I'm going to show you where you can go online for free and download our offer letter and start using it if you want to. We share it, have at it. And I'll show you kind of what a mail merge looks like and why we have a company called Offers to Owners that does it for you, and just how easy it is now. So we'll cover that next week. But to answer your question, this is like a 90-day, it's not an escrow period. I'm setting an offer as an investor, as a buyer. And a lot of the transactions, especially when you're starting out, we are self-closing our transactions because we're not spending a lot of money. I'm acting as my own title agent. I'm doing all my own homework, and I have all the tools to do that. And we show you how to do that. And I'm buying properties for a couple $1,000s and not using escrow. So I don't really have an escrow title in there. For houses, and we'll get to that later, that's a different letter, and that's a different process. But still, my goal is, in my offer letter, man, Cindy, I'm ready to close tomorrow. Because here's the perfect scenario. I sent out these offers. I'm hitting someone at the right time. There's a reason why they're opening up the mail. They're reading my letter. It sings to them that day. And they are calling me right now going, heck yeah, I want to unload this property for $5,000. I inherited it from my dad. The taxes are due again. Here we come. It's November. How fast can we do this? And what I'm doing is, how does Tuesday sound? However fast I can get a deed together and get a cashier's check. I could really do it same day and overnight it and make it happen with a notary. So it's really a short process. You want it to be short because you want them excited and you want to close a deal. So excellent question. Wayne asks, question, I'm a new Land Academy member. Yay, welcome, Wayne. And I'm working on my first mail merge. Awesome. Don't worry, Omar will help you. In RealQuest Pro, I've noticed that some counties have 1,000+ properties in a certain range. You're doing everything right, i.e. 4.9 acres to 5.1 acres, yes. However, some counties only have a few hundred in this. Is this normal? Yes. Oh, you're so sweet. Happy to take this offline if this isn't the form. Heck, no, I'm happy to answer your question, Wayne. And you know what? We can go into it more tomorrow on our weekly member call when you hopefully will be there with us at 3 o'clock Pacific time. So yep, that's normal. And all you need to do is expand your range, and you'll find that some counties will put in a little number like that, and you might have 5,000. I don't need that many. I might do 4.95 to 5 point something, just to get the right numbers that you want. But yep, you're doing everything right. So congratulations. Cindy Lee also asked, do you buy all your land right away, or do you give yourself enough time to find a buyer and do double closings? These are great questions, Cindy. You know what? We buy them. I'm not a fan of a signing contract, especially when it's a couple $1,000s. It's so nice to, let me just give you an example. Say I have a $10,000 budget. I might sit down, and I'm brand new. I might be sitting down looking at 5 $2,500 properties to double my money on, or even 10 $1,000 properties to double my money on. Why? They're so easy to complete by myself. I can do my own homework, my due diligence. If I goof one up, let's say I'm trying to double my money on all of them, right? So I'm trying to turn $10,000 into $20,000, and I goof one up for whatever reason. I'm willing to bet the other 9 are going to take care of the one that I goofed up as I'm learning this process. And then after you get going and you understand how it all works, then you're going to start looking at doing bigger dollar amounts or bigger properties. And then eventually too, this is a good question, you will get to the point where it's like learning to fly a plane. You learn on a small plane, and you learn how to operate everything. And then you graduate to a bigger plane. So this is kind of like this. I want you to learn how to drive a stick. I want you to learn how to do a deed. I want you to learn how to do the whole process yourself, so you know what this is. And then later on, you might be closing $50,000 deals, and you know what? You're not doing any of that work. You're doing your own due diligence up front before you hand it over to your title company, but to make sure you've got, it passes all your tests. But then they do it, so it does get easier. So these are great questions. All right, Ben asks, do return percentages go down on larger dollar properties? I'm not sure, Ben, if you mean return percentages. I'm wondering if you mean I'm guessing you mean dollar amount as far as buying and selling. I'm gonna assume that's what it is. You can type in if I'm wrong, but traditionally, no. It's funny, traditionally we see higher return profits. We and our group have no trouble finding assets that for $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 that are worth 60, and we could easily still double our money and maybe even more. So I've heard, good thing to ask is in our online community. If you want to get into landinvestors.com, that would be a fun question to pose to our members and see what they say. What's the biggest ROI you've had? And you would probably fall over when you hear some of these people saying they bought things for $20,000. People just didn't care. They were done with it. It's like get this broken treadmill off my yard, you know, and you turn around and it's a collector's item, and they didn't know it and they didn't care, and they wish you well. It's kind of like that sometimes with these properties. So that doesn't change it. Good question. Britton. Oh, hey. Hi, Britton. Britton Miller asks, hi, Jill, question for you. I did mailer just recently, and just recently started seeing land available in the same area, much cheaper, by another member. LOL. Do I just scrap it and start over? Heck no. Don't change a thing. I don't. And so make yours stand out. Price it. Just make sure yours is priced great. And your description looks good. Your pictures look great. Your videos look good. Don't even worry about it. We joke about this, as a group. Sometimes, we've heard members sending mail to one group and getting 5 deals, let's just say, or one area. And then, you hear about somebody else going, oh, shoot, I just really just mailed that area. I just did the same thing. And then they pick up 5 more deals. Because like we said before, you're looking for a situation, and that's it. On January 1, when I opened the letter from Bob, I didn't need to sell. I didn't care. Everything's great. I threw it away. And then March 1, I opened a letter from you, and man, I just happened to lose my job or something changed, and I'm ready to sell. Good. Caleb, hi Caleb, asks, let's see here. Do you seek out specific subdivisions, and have you seen a decrease in accepted offers for subdivisions that are more plentiful in available sales data, i.e. listed and sold comps, even if the subdivision is still rural? Do I seek out certain subdivisions? I do sometimes. I'm gonna keep that a question for me. I do sometimes, Caleb, for infill lots, not so much land / however, because I don't really want to have a lot of rural vacant land traditionally in one subdivision. Having a couple parcels there is good, but I don't really want to own half of a subdivision, because then every person's, I'm like trying to peddle 12 of the same thing. It's not that exciting on my website. So I don't get them out. When I am doing doing infill lots, because we're transitioning to a lot of that now, and we can help you with that too. Then I might be really honing in on an area that I know well, and because I know it's hot, because I can see, and then I do look at those things, by the way. Then I do look at days on market, and I am looking at comps, because I have better numbers, because I have house data. For rural vacant land, sold comps don't bother, and because they are sold, and that's another Wednesday, I'm going to cover that. And also assessor comps are so often inaccurate, and I will talk about that on another Wednesday. Great question. Andrew asks, thank you for asking this. All right, Andrew asks, when do you guys are planning our next event in Los Angeles? And when you meet you guys in person, Steve and Jill, cake from me. You do an incredible job. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's coming. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on in the next several weeks. So you will start seeing probably quarterly, at least, events from us, taught by us. I think that's one of the things that made these last events so special. It's really us there doing it with you, and more are coming. So probably look for first quarter next year. So thank you. We're great on time. I'm going to answer a few more questions. Cindy Lee is asking, how many different counties you suggest one mail at the same time? Great question. However many you're comfortable with. I mean, maybe if you're really brand new, Cindy Lee, I would do 1, 2, or 3 counties. And when you're picking a county, have a list of criteria that you're looking for. For example, make sure that the county information is readily available. If you have any questions, make sure it's not a real rural county where like the sheriff is also the county recorder on Tuesdays and things like that. So you want to make, pick one that they're accessible, their information's good, your data's good. You can pull up maps on the area really well. So some of those things, but I'd say 2 or 3 to get started is probably a good one. And then after you send out a bunch of mail, you'll figure out, oh wow, look what I just uncovered over here. And say one of those counties just rose to the top, and you found that you're buying up and doing great on the 5-acre properties in that area. You can maybe then progress to the 10-acre properties and the 20-acre properties, and then just keep expanding. That's a good question. And then when you get more in depth too, it's not crazy to send out bigger mailers with a lot of counties. That's fun. It's fun when you get these offers back, and the best thing you can do is send out a lot of offers, and then when you get them back, and just pick the best ones, and that's the greatest thing. All right. Jake asks, when are you guys coming to Nashville? I hadn't thought about Nashville, and I'd like to go to Nashville. When I do my planning, I will get back to you there. It's probably going to be more of a Dallas. We might do a Dallas before we get to Nashville, but maybe a Florida. I'm not between those. So thank you. What else do we have? All right, we have a few more minutes here. I'll answer just a couple more questions. This is great. I see my team members are answering questions for you too, so this is wonderful. Do you have anything else you want to answer? All right, one more. Okay, Britton asks, is there a minimum, thank you, Britton Miller, is there a minimum parcel size that you consider? Great question. No, depends on what I'm buying. So for infill lots, I might buy a 0.11 and it might be worth a lot of money. For rural vacant land, traditionally when you're starting out, bigger is better. Don't go crazy. I'd say 5, 10, 20 acres, even 40 acres. Those are great to get started. And then you'll find that you'll naturally, probably graduate to 160, 120 acres. And if you really want to go nuts, we'll help you with that. We can help you learn to subdivide. That's great too. All right, my answer. It's one more question here. This is Reggie. Can hiring a photographer to take photos of property be worth it? Or should we just use Google Map Street View images? Should we market first with Google Map images or directly hire a photographer? Awesome question, Reggie. Depends on how much you're spending on the property. If you're buying a property, say you're brand new starting out, you're testing this. So you're buying a property for $1,000, you want to sell it for $2,000 or $2,500. Everything on the internet's worth $4,000, so it's great. Do I want you to spend $1,000 getting a drone video and hire a professional photographer, all that? Maybe not, but maybe a couple $100. This is up to you to kind of see how much cushion you have in your budget, but spending $100 is not crazy. To get a guy to go in the area and stand on it, give him the GPS coordinates and take some pictures and send them back to you, that's totally worth it. And then maybe while you're waiting for I want you to post your property right away. Maybe while you're waiting for the photographer, or you even mix in some Google Earth videos or fly-ins from Google Earth Pro and photos of the area. Absolutely. The only thing you want to be sure you always do is properly convey what that is. So if it's photos of the area, say it's photos of the area. If it's photos standing on the property, say it's photos standing on the property. Great. Thank you very much. All right, well, I think that we are just about, I guess we are not just about out of time. I got the thumbs up, so I'm gonna take a few more questions if you'd like to add in here. Thank you. Wayne asks, thank you. Do you send offers to people that do you send offers to people that bought their land in the last 3 to 4 years? Very good question. You know what? The answer is yes. I don't scrub it out. Here's why. There could have been a year ago transfer of ownership because mom or dad passed on and they moved it into a trust, which is the best possible situation. So now the siblings do inherit the property and they're ready to sell. So I don't want to scrub out the most recent transfers. So great question. About that land. Thank you. Yep. Let's see, what else do we have? I have a few more. Jake, I like Jake's question there. I like this. Jake, these are great questions. You are very brainy in this. I appreciate this. All right. But you go by Terry. I keep calling you Jake, and you put Terry in quotes, and I'm calling you Jake. Okay, so Terry asks, do you need to do a title search to make sure the title is clear and not encumbered? Heck yeah. And how do I do it? I have RealQuest Pro, or I actually have RealQuest Pro, but really I use Title Pro 24/7. So Title Pro 24/7 is Agent Pro 24/7 on steroids. So it's everything you can do at Agent Pro, but even more detailed, and it's designed for title agents. So I can go back and see chain of title. I can go back on houses and I can see mortgage documents. I can see all kinds of excellent information. So that's absolutely what I do. So when an offer comes in, I do go back and make sure, first of all, I make sure, am I talking to the seller? Is this the right guy to make the decision? And then I go make sure that everything, like you just said, is in line and everything looks good before I start the process of purchasing the property. Excellent question. Hi, Justin Sleva. All right, any more questions here? Oh, wait, Jake says, Terry said my high school friends know me. Call me Jake. All right, I'll call you Jake. Wonderful. I've got one more here. Okay, Stephen asks, when is the Land Academy 2.0 release date? Thanks. Okay, we're still currently on track for Halloween. So that is our goal, to have on or around Halloween, we will have Land Academy 2.0. Okay, and what is Land Academy 2.0? I'll wrap up with this. So Land Academy 2.0 is the next level of where you should be going after 1.0. 1.0 is still awesome, current. Not much has changed since we released it a couple years ago. You still pull data the same way. If anything, it's gotten easier now. Some of the things that we did, like a mail merge in 1.0, now I have, my team, and you have them too, to do mail merge and things like that. Now you have to think about. So 2.0 is that next level. So, and that's what's coming up on Halloween. Speaking of which, we have a special going on right now. So if you're liking this, if this all makes sense to you, number one, go get our ebook. It's free. Go to landacademy.com, download the ebook, read it, see what you think, do the test, ask more questions. That's why we're here. If you've already done that and you're like, all right, I get it, I'm in, go get our program. And the coupon here is going on right now. If you put in the code SPOOKY, you will get $600 off, and that ends on Halloween. So join us. Next week, please be ready for screenshots. As I mentioned, I'm going to show our offer letter, where you can get it. I'll talk about how we collect ownership data and some of those pieces to help you kind of see what this is all about. Thank you for joining me. Please be sure and leave your comments below. Thanks for leaving your comments below, and what you would like to cover, and any topics or any other questions, we'll do our best to answer them later on. I am Jill DeWitt. I'm here to help you get started. That's the hardest part.